All right, people. I have been the biggest supporter of NATO. I have even been criticizing Trump for not giving his full support to Ukraine and somehow going soft on Vladimir Putin. I've made my feelings known many times before, and I've attracted a lot of hate from Trump supporters as well for it. But having said that, though, I have also been sounding the alarm that our current Western leadership in the UK, Canada, and Australia, they are giving more reasons to Donald Trump to undermine or disband NATO altogether, which he is already not a big fan of. And these clownish prime ministers have wasted no opportunity to give Donald Trump exactly that. Australia has more to gain from the Australia-US alliance than US has to gain from Australia. And Anthony Albanese, they didn't ask us for anything, therefore we didn't. This is why Tony Abbott said we should have volunteered. We have volunteered before, and we wouldn't have had to volunteer much. We didn't have to send tens of thousands of Australian soldiers to Iran. All we had to do, send a few fighter jets, send a couple of submarines, and that's it, we're done. That's all we had to do to ensure that our alliance remains intact. And the UK, even worse, they also had to send a couple of ships there. And that's it, you've done your part. But no, they were so scared of their Muslim constituencies that they gave a cold shoulder to Donald Trump. A Donald Trump who already isn't a fan of these alliances, who is already an isolationist, who has already been undermining NATO and other Western alliances. Well, I don't blame him now. Yes, you could argue that you didn't consult us before attacking Iran, fine. But that's a much smaller grievance than looking at the prospect of losing the United States as our ally. Well, I think this is it. The day has come. It's over, guys. Western alliances are over. Have a look at this. Donald Trump just launched a brutal attack on the UK. All of those countries that can't get jet fuel because of the Strait of Hormuz, Australia is one of them. We are begging China, and China's saying, well, sorry, we've got to look out for our own reserves. And you can't even blame China for that. We had COVID to go through. We saw what could happen to you when global supply lines are disrupted, but we still didn't do anything. And you know why? That is by design, by the green climate mob. Australia had 8 oil refineries in 2008. Guess how many do we have now? 2. And even they are barely operational. We pay Singapore to import crude oil and then send us the finished product. And that's why we only have 30 days of fuel supply, which is usually in transit. We didn't build any fuel reserve storage. It's so pathetic, so bad, guys. We are actually looking at a prospect of having no oil in about a week. Okay, no oil. You know what that means? Australia doesn't even have an extensive railway network. Our fresh produce comes via trucks, and we need diesel for that. And we're going to have no diesel. Diesel prices have already skyrocketed. Farmers are already screaming, and they're saying, we don't have enough fuel. We're already not going to have enough yield for the rest of the season. We are screwed. And in that climate, Anthony Albanese decided not to give a helping hand. I'm not saying we would have made a huge difference, but let's go back a little bit. Do you know why Western liberal democracies became the most prosperous countries of the post-World War II world? It's because we all played a part. And America, as a leader, got the lion's share of prosperity. America and Britain and France, they wrote the rules of the game. This rules-based world order that we talk about, America created those rules, and they served us immensely. Now, there's going to be World War III, apparently. China is going to establish its dominance because China is sick and tired of living under the rules created by the West. So there is going to be a clash at some point. Russia-Ukraine is still going. This is a second chapter. If we manage to take out Iran, then China is basically friendless. China will only have North Korea on its side. That's it. And when we're going to have an eventual showdown with China, and I think America is going to come out on top, but not without immense cost and not without help of its allies. And when we have this post-World War III world, who do you think is going to write the rules of the game? The winners. And if America is the winner, why should America take care of Australia or of England or France or Germany who didn't take part. See, I've been saying this for a very long time. We want America to be the policeman of the world, to enforce the rules and laws that support the Western world order, but we don't want to get our hands dirty. America, you do the thing. You go and enforce these things. This is exactly what the Americans are saying. They're like, you want us to fight for the free world. Iran is a threat to the free world, okay? Iran is a threat to the free world. Iran is not just a threat to America or Israel. America is a threat to Britain and Western Europe and Australia. So we want to just pretend like cowards. Oh, we don't want to get our hands dirty. Oh, look, sorry, Muslims. See, we told Trump, piss off. We do this, and America gets his hands dirty. America gets accused of being a war criminal, gets hated by the whole world, stands alone. Then if and when America wins, why should America take care of us? Why? I have Australia's best interests at my heart. Okay, I want Australia to do well, which is why I'm upset and angry. But if I were an American, I think Trump is 100% right in his way of thinking. Yes, you could argue whether it was a good time to go to war with Iran or not, but now we are at war with Iran. Now we should be supporting America and get this war over with as quickly as possible. But no, we want to play cool. We want to play international law. We are the good guys. We don't want to attract hatred. Like that idiot Pedro Sanchez. He got 10% discount from Morocco because of his stance on Israel, Palestine, and US-Iran war. Why should America come to the rescue of Europeans? I don't want Russia to win in Ukraine. I really don't. I am Slava Ukraini. I have been Slava Ukraini from the day this war broke out. But can you really blame America if America pulls out NATO troops from European soil? This is why Trump has said this. All of those countries that can't get jet fuel because of the Strait of Hormuz, like the United Kingdom and Australia, which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, I have a suggestion for you. Number one, buy from the US. We have plenty. By the way, I think this part he keeps glossing over it. Global oil prices affect everyone. People bid. Most of the crude oil that America extracts, America does not refine it onshore. So America actually exports it to Canada and Europe, and then they refine it, and then they send it back to the US. That's why oil prices are all integrated. So that's why even if the direct customers of the Saudi Arabian and Iraqi oil that are impacted by the closure of Strait of Hormuz, everyone is going to share the price burden. But having said that, though, one advantage that the US has, the price may go up, but their fuel stations are not going to run empty, as it is the case in Australia. Nearly 500 petrol stations are empty now. Number two, build up some delayed courage. Delayed courage. Go to the strait and just take it. You'll have to start learning how to fight for yourself. Well said. After the end of the Cold War, European countries, they just massively slashed their defense budget in the name of peace dividends. As a result, these European democracies built generous welfare societies, universal healthcare like the NHS, universal credit. Oh, you've got a little headache, stay at home, the government will pay you. Anxiety, mental health payout, all of that crap. While America was taxing its people, maintaining a capitalistic working society, the UK and the Europeans were building welfare societies, cutting down defense budget, all at the expense of American taxpayers. Why should America subsidize your security? I think Germany passed a law which will allow them to spend up to 800 billion euros on defense. 800 billion euros. They only did it when they realized, oops, America may not come to our rescue. Can you imagine that? 800 billion euros they wouldn't have spent otherwise because, Uncle Sam is going to come and protect us. Okay, this is what I'm saying. It is such a good deal for the Europeans and Australia to have a big brother like America, and you spit in the face of that country that is literally subsidizing your defense. Again, as I said, I can't fault Donald Trump's reasoning. I really can't. He already wasn't a fan of NATO. John Bolton had been warning us since 2018 that if Trump comes back to power, he will disband NATO. Did the Europeans not know this? That was the time to kiss his ass, okay? I get it. You don't want to do it. You hate it. Everyone's got Trump derangement syndrome. Your constituents hate Trump and America. But if you want to save some money, if you want to keep your universal credits and Centrelink payments going and not increase your defense budget, then you're going to have to kiss his big orange ass. But they didn't. Well, it's time to face the music then. You'll have to start learning how to fight for yourself. The USA won't be there to help you anymore. I don't blame you. Just like you weren't there for us. You gave him an excuse to say that. We could have perfectly said the UK and Australia, the hardcore allies, even went to Iraq with America when it was an unjust war. But we kept our end of the bargain. We stood by America. But now we have wokies. We have woke lefty politicians in charge that they say, I don't want to piss off my Western Sydney Muslims. We're not going to volunteer or anything. And it's the same with Keir Starmer. And it's the same with Macron as well. I think Trump made a tweet about Macron as well. And these people want Trump to help them with Russia. Absolutely stupid.
Well, we have a coalition for them, but they should have been up here a long time ago. And, you know, they're affected. The amazing thing is we don't need the Hormuz Strait.
You do, but not like how the others do, like Australia does. We've got no fuel in our petrol stations.
We don't need it. We don't need it at all. We have so much oil. Our country is not affected by this. We have twice the amount of oil as Saudi Arabia or Russia, and soon it'll be 3 times the amount. How close are you getting?
Yeah, that's not true, though. America cannot refine its own crude oil. Have a listen to this. This is a fairly good point made by Pete Hegseth.
As far as NATO is concerned, that's a decision that will be left to the president. But I'll just say a lot has been laid bare. A lot has been shown to the world about what our allies would be willing to do for the United States of America when we undertake an effort of this scope on behalf of the free world. These are missiles that don't even range the United States of America. They range allies and others. And yet when we ask for additional assistance or simple access basing overflight, we get questions or roadblocks or hesitations.
The UK even initially did not allow the United States to use its bases in the UK. So tell me again, why does the US have bases in your country? Just to defend you? Is that the only reason? And the sad part is the UK and Australia wouldn't even have had to give too much. Send a few ships, that's all. Not be at front lines. No boots on the ground. Maybe some special operations security forces alongside their American counterparts, but that's about it. That's all we had to do to keep our alliance going.
And the president's pointing out, you don't have much of an alliance if you have countries that are not willing to stand with you when you need them. He's simply pointing that out.
Well, that's a very fair point, guys. It's a bloody fair point.
This is an international waterway that we use less than most, in fact, dramatically less than most. So the world ought to pay attention and be prepared to stand up. President Trump's been willing to do the heavy lifting on behalf of the free world to address this threat of Iran. It's not just our problem set going forward, even though we have done the lion's share of preparation to ensure that that strait will be open, which is an outcome.
The only legitimate grievance that the rest of the West could have posed to Trump is that, hey, you should have consulted with us, okay? But there is no disagreement that the Islamic regime of Iran was a menace to the free world. And it was an ally of China, our future adversary, that is going to write the rules of the game, which are not going to be favorable to Australia or the UK or France or Germany. America is a big boy. America can still look after itself. It's a very sad state of affairs, guys. It's a very pathetic, sad state of affairs. It would have been so different if we had even the Tories in power in the UK and the coalition here in Australia. But our bad luck is that we had the worst prime ministers of our country's histories in charge at the time when this happened. We're going to have to do a lot more. I think we're going to have to do a lot of ass kissing of America in the future in order to win back the goodwill of America. Because if these leaders are thinking that, well, once the Democrats come to power, everything will go back to normal, it won't. It won't. Because in the free world, politicians respond to the general sentiment of the country. And I don't think this is going down well with America. Americans are already sick and tired of global wars. They actually don't want America to be the policeman of the world. And I've said it before, if America does not exist as the policeman of the world is going to be a very dark place. So what, you would just allow the Islamic Republic of Iran to keep harassing our allies in the region and also hold our energy supply lines hostage? Is that what we want? It was a menace. And if Trump is forced to leave prematurely, that's going to be a very bad world for everyone. Not just for our allies, but for everyone.